What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to talk about AMC, GME as well as the broader market. So today AMC was down for 0.26% for the day. It had a high of $15.61. The average volume on AMC is around 44.72 million, but today's volume was very low. It was around 24.13 million. Now we have seen that even on the low volume, majority of the stocks are onto the upside, and these kind of a low volume pump doesn't last long. So we might be experiencing some sort of a downtrend maybe from tomorrow onwards. Now when we come over to GME, GME was up for 0.84% for the day. It had a high of $89.58. The average volume on GME is around 2.85 million, but today's volume was around 3.45 million. The volume was definitely higher than the average volume because we were having the earnings for GameStop in the aftermarket. So AMC is down almost 8% in the aftermarket, but I'm pretty sure a lot of retail investors are going to step in and buy it at very low prices. I remember the initial drop that we experienced in the GameStop was around $75, and a lot of investors stepped in and bought the stock straight away without giving a second thought that it can go down a little bit more further. It was a big miss on GameStop. They definitely don't have any depth on them. But still, the business needs some sort of a new alignment coming into it in order to establish some sort of a good sentiments towards the stock. Now let's come over to the SPY. The SPY was up for 1.25% for the day. It had a high of $441.00. That means the SPY ended up at the peak of the day. Now, as we know that the Jerome Powell made his decision of increasing the interest rate to 0.25 basis point, which is not going to lead to any kind of a downtrend into the inflation. The more they're going to kick down the can down the road, it's going to be more catastrophe happening into the stock market. We already know if they wanted to increase 0.25 basis point, they could have done it in December. There was no need of kicking the can down the road at that time, and the inflation did when go up. And after this Russia and Ukraine crisis, the inflation is going to go up again. So right now we are in some sort of a market which is not at all predictable. Anything can happen. The market can go down suddenly out of no reason. In last 3 days we have a pretty solid green days. It has been going up almost 2 to 1.25% for the day, which is a very good sign. If you know how to swing trade the stocks and you have been buying options in order to make some quick money out of it, definitely you would have made some quick bucks onto the stocks for today. Now let's come over to the options flow for AMC. Now by looking at the options flow for AMC, there are a lot of investors, those who are onto the downside, and they are all betting that the AMC is going to go down from here onwards. This $14 put option came in for 63 days expiration. There were a lot of investors, those who are buying this put option. There were hardly any call option coming in, but there were few of them where individuals are betting that the AMC might go up from here onwards. Though AMC is a legit business, it is definitely under the depth right now. They need to pay off their debt. Once they get over the debt, the company might get a little bit of higher stock price. But by looking at what's happening right now, the stock price is going down without any significant reason behind it. Last two earnings were back to back a beat, and that was a massive beat as well, but still the stock price did go down. We just have to wait and see how this is going to play out, but I personally believe AMC has a chance of getting a squeeze as well as GME. Both are the only stock in the stock market which can squeeze a lot and go to unimaginable level. But definitely these hedge funds are getting smarter day by day. They know how to tackle with this kind of a situation that they have been experiencing in the past related to the short squeeze. Now let's come over to the options flow for GME. So by looking at the options flow, there were a lot of call buying happening into the GameStop, and these were all 7 days expiration. These individuals were buying. These were $87 call option, and they were paying $26,000 for it. They were buying 30 contracts, and they were expecting the GameStop is going to go up from here onwards, because from last couple of days we have been experiencing a lot of downtrend in GameStop. Even if the broader market is going up, still AMC and GME are down. So we can definitely assume that there is some sort of a control over only these two specific stock, that they are not going up, but when there is a downtrend they definitely go down, but they never go up the way the other stocks are going up. By looking at the entire options flow, I can tell you majority of them are onto the downside, but there were quite a lot of call options coming in today. And when I increase the premium to max and see what the whale is doing, yes, they are on to the downside. They are betting that the GME is going to go down from here onwards. The rest, there was nothing suspicious coming out of the options flow for the GameStop. Now let's come over to the options flow for the SPY. Now when I increase the premium to max and see what exactly the massive whale is doing, that's a $13.5 million this individual is paying for the $470 put option, which is going to expire in another 91 days. And he's buying 3,500 contracts and he's betting that the SPY is going to go down from here onwards. Now, when we look at the entire option flow, yes, the investors are still onto the downside. They don't believe in the little bit of uptrend that we are experiencing in the SPY. They believe that the SPY will go down significantly and they are betting a huge amount of money onto the SPY. All of them are betting towards downside and they're buying a massive amount of contracts. These contracts are not 100, 200, these are 3,000, over 3,000 contract. That's a 8,000 contract this individual is buying. It's going to expire in 7 days and they are all betting that this SPY is going to go down from here onwards. And as we know, the situation in Europe between Russia and Ukraine is still not getting to a conclusion yet. It is getting bad over there as compared to improving a little bit. But definitely if there is any kind of a positive news coming out of the Europe, that will create some sort of another uptrend into the SPY. But the kind of pump that we have been experiencing from last 3 days, I personally believe this is not sustainable. But definitely if you have made some money by buying some call options, or you had that idea before the retail was having a pretty negative sentiment towards the SPY, just before the Fed meeting, a lot of retail investors were holding put options. And after the Fed meeting happened, everything went to the moon. It's been since last 3 days, the SPY has been constantly going up. We just have to wait and see how this is going to play out. I personally believe we're going to experience some sort of a downtrend tomorrow, or we might be green for another day, and then over the weekend, something can happen which can create some sort of a downtrend into the stock market. Hope so you like my video. Please like and subscribe my channel, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Cheers.